That's Harpenden saying train online, and that's Knapsbury saying he's awake simultaneously, just to confuse things. So I do 3, pause 1 to Knapsbury. Try again. Got it that time. Right, I can now clear my signals. Points 4 have to be locked safely with facing point lock 3. I can pull 2, 6, and with Knapsbury's permission given 10. And I can now clear the distance signal, which can only be cleared when all 3 of 2, 6 and 10 are clear. Now, the train's just passed the distance signal and automatically put it back to danger. And I put the lever back to danger as well, and as the train passes each signal, I put the signal it's just passed back to danger, just in case either my colleague at Harpenden or a mischievous train driver at Harpenden disobeys the signals there or does something they shouldn't do and sends a second train on to me when they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Train's now in the platform exchanging passengers, and it's the sick driver's duty to stop at the station according to the timetable. It's not my job to keep the signal at danger, to stop it, force him to stop. He's got to remember to stop, and I've got to remember to give him a clear run. He's exchanged passengers, he's moving off. This little symbol is the signal box here, the black line indicates the train. And as the train goes past, I look at the back of the train and I check it's got a tail lamp. That's a single red oil lamp. They were diesel multiple units at the time we were talking about, and they had a white lamp with a red filter on the back to indicate the end of the train. It's past me, I can see the train's complete, so I can tell Knapsbury safely that the train's heading for him. So I do 2 dings for train entering section. Got the signals to danger. Right, train online, so there's a visual reminder. There's still a visual reminder saying there's a train online between me and Harpenden, but there ain't now, so I'll wake Harpenden up. And I send him 2, pause 1 for training out of section, and he's acknowledged that, switched that back, and now he knows and I know there's no train between him and me. Knapsbury's just asking me if I'm awake. I respond that I am. He's now sent 2, pause 1, train out of section. I repeat that back, and he's put his instrument back to the line blocked, which is the same as normal. And that's one cycle for one train on one line. That's 3 bell codes between me and Harpenden, 3 bell codes between me and Knapsbury for that one train, and the time of every one of those train bell codes for each train has to be entered in the train register here. That's why there's a big clock over the train register desk. It's the biggest clock watching job in the world, probably.
Wow.
So you can have 4 trains on the 4 lines at any one time. In fact, actually, for various reasons, you can actually have 2 trains on each line heading towards Harpenden in the right circumstances. So that's 24 bell codes at any one time, and every one of those have to be written in. And between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning, in the 1970s, there were 24 trains scheduled to pass through St Albans, or even stop at St Albans and go back to London. So extremely busy box. This is about the biggest size box that could be worked by one person. They were sometimes given help in the form of a booking clerk. Could be a boy, could be a girl, and in fact the photograph on the wall there under signals at St Albans shows Leslie, who was a lady here in the 1970s who was a booking girl or booking clerk. She's unofficially working the signals there, which she shouldn't really be doing. But she would do things like note the times of the trains for the signalman and answer the telephones. There were actually 6 telephones on the back wall here, not the 4 that we've got so far. And they all made connections with other signal boxes, the control centre and all the rest of it. Anyway, that's an outline of how signalling used to work here, and if anybody's got any questions, and lever 32 can be pulled to work the signal in the garden. So if anybody's got any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. It's critical that those blades are one way or the other. They're in the middle, the trains will derail, and there was an accident at Potter's Bar several years ago where the points hadn't been properly maintained, the blades weren't in the right position, an accident occurred and several people died. So there's a mechanism known as a facing point lock, goes in the middle there, and it makes certain the signals can't be cleared unless the points are firmly one way or the other. Facing point locks are operated by the blue levers, and for example, as part of the demonstration, the train will be coming, the demonstration train will be coming on the up slow line. Crossover here is facing because the train can go straight on or cross there, although that wasn't a normal move. That has to be locked with facing point lock 3. The chevron levers, black and white, are emergency detonator placers. Up chevrons for the up lines, down chevrons for the down lines. Detonators, this is a genuine railway detonator. It's an emergency warning signal. It's like a giant cap. If you remember cap guns, much noisier, and we do have to handle these with care, which is why we don't pass it around you. They're still used for emergency signalling, particularly during engineering works. This one's lost one of its straps, but they go over the head of the rail, train runs over that, and it causes it to go bang. I used to live in southeast London and went to work in Ilford, and I would cross over Woolwich Ferry and catch a train from there, but it was low-lying land and very foggy at the time, being close to the river, and I was in a diesel multiple unit on the North Woolwich line, which went over one of these at a distant signal at day caution, and you felt the whole train jump a bit as it went off. It was quite staggering.
I bet.
Yeah, I think that was the same time that we came across 3 youths trespassing on the track, walking with their back to the train. In foggy weather. I've never seen 3 lads move quite so quickly off the track and over a wall. Anyway, when you pulled those, a little machine at the side of the track would swing the detonator out onto the track, and that would be an emergency signal to the driver to pull up, and there was something wrong somewhere. Either his train had got a problem, or a train near him was come off the track or something. So they would do that.